Celebrate Recovery. My name is Scotty, and I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I struggle with pornography, codependency, work addiction, and depression. Hello, it's good to be here with you tonight. If this is your first time here or your 100th time here, and you are participating tonight with feelings of anger, fear, guilt, shame, anxiety, inadequacy, or depression, you are in the right place. You're in a safe space where others just like you are healing from their own hurts, habits, and hang-ups, and from both fair pain and unfair pain. Whatever you're struggling with, you're welcome here. Now, tonight we're doing things a little bit differently. Normally we would open with worship. We have a special guest testimony and worship artist with us tonight. So I'm going to just do the introduction, and then I'm going to get off the stage, and we'll get the Mark J up here to give us the real deal. So if you would like to donate to Celebrate Recovery at Crescenta Valley Church, you may give during the offering at the close of the meeting. We are also going to, so our special guest tonight, Mark J. the Poet, he travels all over and does these plays for different CRs. It gives his testimonies, and he's totally 100% supported by volunteers. So at the end of tonight, he's going to give you an opportunity to be able to support his ministry, and also we're going to do a love offering for him to get him on his way to his next destination. And so we'll be doing that at the end. Newcomers, if you're new with us online tonight or you're new with us in person, welcome. We encourage you to email us at info@cvchurch.com with any questions you might have. I get emails every week, got a bunch this week, and we always love connecting with you. You can also connect with us by texting CVCHURCH. That's the code. You text CVCHURCH to the number 77411. Again, that's CVCHURCH to 77411. We also recommend, if you are a newcomer, two newcomer books that you can find at your favorite bookseller. First Steps to CR and Life's Healing Choices, both by the CR founder, the late John Baker. We also encourage everyone to participate in other Celebrate Recovery meetings, especially here in the Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena, and greater Los Angeles area. We have a list of local CR meetings that are in our direct area, along with all of the CR Zoom links for participating in the small group, as well as this live stream link. We're live on our website, cvchurch.com, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube channel. Those are both at CVChurchLA. And those are all posted on our website at cvchurch.com under the CR tabs. We have a new step study that is beginning. So that call out is open for signups. That's with Natalie, and her number you can see on the screen, 925-270-6864. It's going to be during the midday. So for those of you who've always wanted to do a midday step study, and she's going to be doing that at her home, which is near the church, very near the church in the Montrose area. So it's going to be Tuesdays, 11 a.m., and signups are open, so you can get in touch with her if you want to sign up, or you can email us at info@cvchurch.com. The men's step studies right now are closed, so if you would like to either co-facilitate that women's 11 a.m. step study, because we're looking for a co-facilitator to work with Natalie, or if you would like to facilitate a men's step study that we're looking to start, you can train. I'll help you get trained to do that. It's info@cvchurch.com. And then we also have our usual midweek devotional and share times that Joan and Rogerlyn do. Mondays, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. That's our Women's Boundaries with Joan. She does a great job with that. So this is a way during the week you can get a little extra connection if you're a woman for that group. And then Tuesdays, 7 to 9 p.m., Rogerlyn kind of takes some of the biblical concepts that we do here and does a deep dive with you on recovery-themed biblical concepts. The one she's working on right now with the women is Embrace Grace. And again, both of those are on Zoom with Rogerlyn C. So if you want to participate in one or both of those days, email us at info@cvchurch.com, and I'll get you connected with them. All right, without any further nonsense from me, let's welcome up Mark J. the Poet.
My name is Mark Cornelis. You might know me as Mark J. I want to share about what God has done in my life, what He's brought me through. Even knowing Christ over time and genuinely desiring to serve Him and walk with Him and knowing about Him, even telling others about Him all the time, I developed a struggle and I become hooked on secrecy. I had a secret part of my life nobody else knew about. See, my struggle for a long time was an addiction to pornography.
Thank you, Lord. Lord, I pray tonight that your Holy Spirit would do what you desire. The hope is not in my story, but in yours. So thank you for the honor of serving. I want a divorce, he told her via text message. How did he get here? Why did he get here? At 7 years old, he had his first Sunday school crush. She had rosy cheeks, glowing brown eyes, his cute smile. Hair that ballroom danced to the rhythm of her graceful footsteps. And then he wished he were Zach Morris due to his fascination with Kelly Kapowski. Y'all remember Saved by the Bell? All right. And then it was the Pink Ranger, followed closely by Baywatch lifeguards. No, not David Hasselhoff. And then it was the ultimate book of JCPenney ads. And then racy TV show scenes his mind would sit on. Random sitcoms his childhood curiosity would feast on, and isolated moments at grandma's next. With the ladies in the comics he shouldn't have been reading in the dim corner of the comic book shop, fingers quivering to page 9 while nervously checking his peripheral. He was a powerless ranger when his admiration for God-crafted beauty slowly morphed into an unhealthy infatuation. For this ranger, Alpha was no good without Omega, because intelligence without the mind of God is just a robot. His journey was a gas-guzzling road trip. He was becoming a man at 12 years old. Picks up the mouse, leaves behind the remote control. From then on, you might dub him Inspector Sherlock, because he was always seeking out gadgets in homes. Peers outside that front house window, one hand guiding the weightless curtain just to double check no one was home. It was just him and a world that would widen his web of fantasy. Pornography, compliments of Hugh Hefner's legacy. Types and feels emotions he never felt prior. High-quality X-rated images glare from this 16-inch screen. From that moment on a Dell desktop, his curiosity would constantly pop off with imaginations. His body tingles as his outrageous feeling breakdances across his brain. He was diving into a jacuzzi that could only fit him in a screen, because, hear me, lust will make room for everyone. Just not for your friends, your family, or real intimacy. He knew it was wrong, but didn't realize that lust is a liar, because lust will claim to serve you, but in the end you will bow shamefully and call it sire. From that point on, he forgot how to see, how to appreciate female beauty without the hypersexuality, and every attractive lady became an object. He'd become super glued to one part of her being, while her true beauty was like a lost loved one. He just couldn't see it. Fast forward to the invention of smartphones, leading to more frequent dumb actions. A young man very much in love with Jesus, but still distracted by this secret addiction. He turns 19. I guess that's a young adult, but he was very much still a child with this insatiable appetite to explore a lustful realm that never keeps its promises. Because lust promises everything, just not for you. Always starts off innocently, doesn't it? Once upon a time, maybe when he was age 8 or 7. Having a crush on a girl didn't mean he craved her body. It actually meant he admired her person, her smile, her laugh, her humor, without it resulting in this cycle of addiction. Then age 23, he meets an angel for his first time. They first met officially at the Sacramento, California Capitol building on a crisp fall season day. The sun beamed and lit her brown hair that flowed like calm waves. The pink of her sweater smelled like Victoria's Secret, he was certain, though she was several feet away. Stunned by her smile, entrapped by the purity of her person, and 2 years later they married. She will solve my lust problem, he was too certain. But after just 3 months of marriage, there he lie again in the middle of the night, surfing the same safari, eating the same poisonous apple on his brand new iPad. Poisonous apple iPad. I'll never do it again, he told her and himself as she held her face in tears, broken, knowing the man she trusted with her whole heart would betray her by longing for women that were not meant for him. The till death do us part guy was slowly emotionally killing the queen he gave that vow to. Tears grazed her cheeks as they left her eyes, and she asked, why? His heart pounding, sweat dripping as he saw she found the sights on his device. I'll never do it again, he said, because it hurt her. But a month later, there he was again, gazing at a device while she slept late at night. Could it be his longing, gazing, craving after craving, for image after image, trained his spirit to do the same to his wife, just swipe up to move on to the next image? That's when spiritual death made him part from her after 5 years of marriage and 2 daughters later. I want a divorce, he said, through text messages of all places. I mean, what a fool, right? An incredible wife, 2 amazing kids. I mean, treasure is what people search for, not what they get rid of. I want a divorce. I told myself, I will never use that line. But I have to be honest and confess, this story is mine. But there was once a time when the woman I dreamt of as a young boy, she didn't have to have perfect lips, eyes, shaped hips. Sure, she was modest, but beautiful, humble, but confident, hopefully a little shorter than I. At one time, the woman of my dreams didn't have to give in to my every wish. At times, she'd argue with my logic because I didn't dream of one who only came to life with a swipe, a tap, a click. I dreamt of one with a heartbeat, not someone I could control on a whim, but someone to breathe real life with. Well, pornography trained my brain to never be satisfied with one. So I want a divorce didn't start in my 20s. It started as young as age 10. And not with the woman of my dreams, with the ones of my fantasy. I drooled over tight jeans, but didn't understand that wasn't his purpose for crafting her jeans, because he's a genius. Far too brilliant to create a being fully accessible through one tap, one click. Age 27. I know now you're probably wondering how old I am. Hopefully the Filipino blood is doing its job. All right. Oh, thank you. Amen. Age 27, separated from my wife, I was walking into the biggest setup of my life, if I could title it. I'll borrow the scripture from James that says, confess your sins one to another and pray for one another, that you may be healed. Honesty overtook me. Transparency swept my heart into the reality God made me for. For the first time, Mark admitted his weaknesses and found strength through that. Because if you walk out of a dim room and into the sunlight and back into the dim room, you'll then realize how dark that dim room was. But if you stay in the dim room too long, your vision can readjust to the darkness. But I won't let my vision readjust because I love the sunshine too much. You see, I followed through with divorce. But I didn't divorce my wife. I divorced my counterfeit life. I filed for divorce from my old man and my old ways, because even while I was lost in my circular maze, God took my hand and he said, son, I'm with you always. Yes, he took my hand. I like to claim that I'm a grown man, but I still have a little boy heart who desperately needs his father. My wife, she has been a reflection of Christ when she could have, and to many should have, given up on me. She would pray, and God would tell her, be still. And she would. Lust is an illusion built upon fantasy. And for so long, it felt like freedom was my fantasy. You know, something that looks so amazing, but you could never really get. But finally, everything has changed. And I get to celebrate over 7 years of freedom from sexual addiction. I can say to you tonight that freedom is my reality. Hello, CR family. You know, something I love about Celebrate Recovery is it's been a part of my transformation journey. I remember the first time I went to a CR, it was actually because someone invited me to come share, like I'm sharing tonight. But I was kind of new to doing that. And I didn't know what I was getting into when I walked into that place. I was like, what is this? What? I remember the guy who goes up there, he's making announcements and welcoming everybody. He's like, my name is Pastor Chris, and I'm currently struggling with depression, lust. And I was like, whoa, hold up. He said he's currently struggling with lust. Is that allowed? Right? I'd never seen that. I'd never heard of it. I didn't. And I was like, wow, there's a place where, there are places where people are transparent, where they're honest, and where they are working through the real stuff together. And that's what I love about this ministry. So thank you for opening up your doors. Brother Scott, appreciate you. And I'm going to sing this song. It's called The Real Me. It's called The Real Me because this mic is not doing the real business here. Okay. Because for so long I didn't know who I was. I can't believe, can't even separate a screen from my hands and eyes, not even for your kingdom. I hurt my family, hurt myself. Guess that's not enough. I'm hurting you as well. So if I live my life in secret, does it mean I'm hurting truth? If I'm hiding who I am, does it mean I'm hurting proof? If I'm living in a lie, does it mean I'm living dead? And if I keep this all inside, how can I survive? I'll do anything if it means I could be free. I'll go anywhere if it means I could be me. Can you show me? Can you show me how? 'Cause I just wanna be the real me. Everything that I was meant to be. I just wanna be the real me. Show me how. Show me how. I can't believe I claim to be a Christian when late at night no one knows that I'm addicted. I can't believe I get up and preach the gospel, but afterwards I'm doing something wrongful. I'm a song full of explicit lyrics, and if they knew me, they'd be like, bro, don't go near him. See this man in the mirror. I fear him, but I believe I wasn't made to be addicted, and I believe I wasn't meant to be restricted. I believe I can more than conquer, and I believe all women are his daughters. I believe honesty is underrated, and I believe honesty is Satan's kryptonite. It's how I win the fight. I just wanna be the real me. Everything that I was meant to be. I just wanna be the real me. Show me how. Show me how. Who knew bondage was BFFs with secrecy? But now there's no more secret me. I expose my mess so it can no longer steal my best. Adam and Eve, hidden in shame, but I think it was their transparency that gave them freedom originally. My focus was laser-like, living life on a screen, so I didn't know how to be me. But this is how it feels to be me. Maybe I'm finally discovering the original me God made me to be, who clings to simple things, like hugs from loved ones or memories of lost ones, celebration of found ones, like conversations with my wife, jokes with my kids, the beaming sunlight, or the cool Cali nights, church worship nights, lessons learned from marriage fights. Adam and Eve hid in shame, and that was my problem. Hidden shame. But this is how it feels to be me. Everything that I was meant to be. This is how it feels to be me. You show me how to be me. There's been a lot that I've had to learn, and it transformed from me having to learn to wanting to learn. Because at the beginning of my journey there was a lot of uncertainty. I didn't know what was going to happen. All I knew was, I want to see my marriage healed. I want to be free. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes. No more limits on you, God. Because for so long I put limits on him. You know, I'll pray for a couple hours. But I don't want to talk to anybody. God, I'll talk to you. I'll tell you about my issues. Isn't that enough? The thing I was most afraid of was the thing I needed the most. God was drawing me out of my isolation, out of my hiding, out of my lying, out of my fear. Because he knew that if that boy would take that risk and come out of that hiding place and allow God to bring his warmth, his safety, his healing, that boy would be empowered to share that with others. And along this journey, I don't know, maybe some of you can relate, but we were just talking about it the other day. My wife always says, yeah, you know, I never suspected it. You know, revisit what we've been through and we talk about it. She's like, I never suspected that you were doing that stuff behind my back. And I have to be honest, because my calling is to take 10 steps in hopes that one person, just one, would take one step. But my addiction to pornography progressed. I was not faithful to my wife. I found myself a man who was just lost, yet knew all the scriptures, grew up a pastor's kid, led worship. I'd done everything on stage that you could do. I did all of it. But still, I didn't know who I was according to my Father. So, it's not a perfect journey. And even just at the airport, I landed and my wife texted me. And it's one of those texts that made my heart race, that reminded me of those moments where she found out what I was doing when I didn't want her to know. Except this time, there wasn't anything hidden. But when she texted me, she was concerned. And what she thought was happening, right? She was triggered because of my past, what I used to do. And the boy showed up, right? The boy Mark was like, oh no, I'm scared, right? Because I used to literally run from conflict, run and hide, because I learned as a boy, I'm not safe if someone wants to confront me. I can't get through that, so I'm supposed to avoid them and stay away from them. If someone wants to confront me, it means I'm not wanted, I'm not loved. Makes sense why I isolated myself, right? The boy learned all these lies that were not true. But I've had the opportunity to practice being patient with my wife and saying, hey, that makes sense that you feel the way you do. Based on all the garbage I've done, yeah, absolutely. But I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. This is the real me. And I'm having fun being who God made me to be. I told her it's not a struggle to be who I am today. But who I used to be, that was so stressful. Clearing your tracks all the time, man, trying to cover stuff up, it was stressful. Clear my browser history, delete, make sure I'm not, delete those texts. Man, it's too much work. And me learning to respond with grace. I've learned to look at it as an opportunity to minister to her heart in those moments she does get afraid. Something I never used to be good at is apologizing. And that's what she said in that conversation too. You were never good at apologizing. Wait, okay. I think I'm reading into that right now as I'm sharing. I think she's saying maybe I'm better at apologizing now. Or maybe I'm good at apologizing, maybe. Is this being recorded? It's okay. But I've had to write a few apologies, but this is one that I wrote. It goes like this. Dear ladies, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've been misled to believe that your beauty is based upon how close you can get to being a supermodel lookalike. I'm sorry that many have buried your true value beneath a glossy 6-inch touchscreen of lies that'll convince you you're worthy of one who loves you with sexual strings attached. I'm sorry you've been indirectly taught that the measure of your beauty is weighed by the number of longing eyes casting their gaze on your figure when you're in public. I'm sorry you've grown being made to feel that the structure of your face and the shape of your body are what make you a lovable person, but you are not valuable because you are beautiful. You are beautiful because you are valuable. I'm sorry that you may have aged but not grown up because you had an absent father or a father who was physically present while emotionally absent. I'm sorry on behalf of the men who have caressed you but never loved you. I understand if that has made you afraid to ask God to touch you. I'm sorry that I was one of those who lived in this dark cave of misguided belief, believing you were sculpted for my selecting, that your parts were for my polluted pleasure. I'm sorry I am guilty of thinking I should have your body when I would never hold your tears, that I should sample your sensuality but never pay attention to what you see, know, or hear. Just because I didn't harm you intentionally doesn't mean I'm innocent. So I choose to own up to my lustful actions that have harmed you from a distance. And now I'm not sorry for my righteous anger that will not cease as I propel truth to a wandering, wavering humanity. I will no longer live under a yoke of secret sin. I will boldly object to the objectification promoted by pornography, by sexual sin, by the media. I will live the rest of my years exposing lust for what it really is, a lie. And now I promise to respect you like my mother, to protect you like my sister, to cherish you like my daughter, and to fuel your freedom because you do not belong to me, but to my Father. So I vow to be a real brother and to honor you as if you were the woman betrothed to my son. Gonna play that track for me. And this is one I wrote for my wife. It's called Identity. This is my apology. I made you believe I was the man you needed. But all that I ever was a make-believer. I promised you I'd keep you, be a lifeguard. But the moment you were drowning, I was too far to save you. Promised until death I would keep you safe. I'm ashamed of all that I've done to turn you away. But I'm changing now, and I'm healing. I know I look the same, but I promise I'm not who I've been. No more looking back, now that I can see what it feels like to know my identity. Every day I looked in the mirror. going back no more. 'Cause I know my identity, and I mean it this time. I know my identity. And about, 4 years ago, I lose track of time. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast this morning. But started a ministry because as I began to experience this healing in my life, I was like, maybe this could bless somebody else too. And started this ministry called Offline. But even before Offline, I'm taking it way back. We were in a small house, right? It was so small, we had to go like this down the halls, to squeeze by each other. Like, hey, babe. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I'm just going to open up my house and bring guys in. And like 5 guys came out. And I was like, oh, cool. And I remember just gathering with these brothers. And I have no professional training. Right? I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not like a licensed person. I didn't go through any schooling. All I was doing was just mimicking what I had experienced. And I was like, maybe it can encourage somebody. And some of these brothers would just be in tears. I remember one dude came, he's like, I didn't even know what this was, but here's my struggles since y'all are doing this. And I began to see, like, wow, this is amazing. Later on, started this ministry called Offline, and we do groups online. I started an in-person group recently. 10 dudes started gathering just a couple weeks ago, and these brothers are they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. And so many patterns and parallels in their stories and then mine. It's like we're so many different people, different races, different backgrounds, different upbringings, different cultures, yet we have so much in common when we're brave enough to just be real. Seeing transformation happen in these guys, and it's just been, it's phenomenal. But an ongoing thing, and something I experienced too, was there was a deeper desire within me to be with and to experience what it's like for someone to be with me. But when I was hiding so much, it always kept people at a distance. It even kept God at a distance, because there were parts of me I didn't want to open up about. I didn't invite him into, because I was too scared. It was too uncomfortable. Started to see healing, and we're seeing that happen for these guys too. And there's a video he's going to play for me, and some of these guys were brave enough to share a little bit.
Connection. That's the one word I always hear. We got to connect to God, to a community of people that are transparent, seeing what it looks like to be vulnerable.
I've been on this journey with Offline for about 1.5 years now. It's been nothing short of a miracle, I'll tell you. The Offline community, it's just like a 24/7 lifeline. There's been a lot of healing, a lot of restoration. Man, I'm not where I used to be.
It was getting so bad where I was depending on it every day. I wasn't me anymore. I knew that I needed to get help from somebody that I knew had been through it. And it just gave me a place to just see that people understand what I'm going through. It was helping me find out what drew me to lust and to porn. And I wanted that love that God offered, that all these people talked about, but I never experienced it. I just needed to know that there's somebody who saw me.
If it wasn't for Offline, I'd probably still be on these binges like I was for weeks on end. Definitely cannot recommend it now.
Even before Offline, Mark and I have been friends. We were kind of doing recovery together at the same time. His knowledge in recovery and him going deeper into it than me was always a good asset for me to kind of connect with. It's just been great for my recovery. I am about 7 years in. Offline started those groups that we had early on, meeting with guys from all over the nation. A great place for me to connect with on a weekly basis with the kids and the wife and my work. It's just somewhere on a weekly basis that I could go to just unload and also absorb.
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to gain freedom. When I reached out, I just felt encouraged. I felt accepted. I felt something that I really never felt before. So I went to someone who had already been where I wanted to be. I would have these explicit dreams, inappropriate dreams, almost every night. As I begin to trust God and open up in my sessions and confess these different things, these different dreams to not only God, of course, but Mark and my wife, after a period of time, the dreams began to subside. They began to change. Even the explicit dreams eventually just went away. God has accepted you. He hasn't rejected you. God acknowledges you. God sees you. And God is waiting at the doorstep so that he can run to you.
You don't get freedom by pushing all these things away and just hiding them. You get freedom by releasing them.
Hope you connect with Offline after this video. It's worth it. Do it.
Check. There he goes. We told the boy to man up, not realizing that taught him to hide. We told the boy to pull himself together, not realizing it taught him to lie. We told the boy to grow up, but forgot to show him how. He was told to be a man, but what's the boy to do now? Inside the angry man lives the boy who never learned. Inside the anxious man awaits the boy who never earned the right to be a man, because within is still the boy who got lost along the path he thought would take him home. Lost boys are all around, clueless where to turn. Still we blame the man for what the boy never learned. And that is my mission. That's the mission of this ministry called Offline, is to rescue the boy who got lost along his path, is to help him see that there is purpose in his story, and that story can be met with grace and compassion and encounter God's restoration and healing. And we're seeing it happen. And if that's something you would like to be a part of, I use a platform called Patreon, and Offline is a 501c3. So if you give using that link up there, that QR code, it's to sign up to be monthly. You can give any amount, as low as $2 a month. And it's tax deductible since we're a 501c3, and you would be a part of fueling someone's freedom. And we work with brothers and guys from all around the country who are ready to walk that journey and are ready to stop doing it alone. I invite you just to worship with me tonight through this song. It's one of my favorites. I'm sure you probably are familiar with it. Lord, I thank you so much that there is hope in your story, and your story has the power to heal ours, and that you desire to restore every part of us. Not just the man, but the boy who got lost. Not just the woman, but the girl who got lost. You want to heal all the wounds. Thank you that you are truly Emmanuel, God with us. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. I love the words to this song, but another reason I love it is because during a moment of worship, they were singing this song at my home church in Sacramento. And this is another thing God has done in my life, is just restored and healed my imagination. So the things that I write now, the things that I create, the ideas, the poems, they come to me so much more in this journey that he's taking me on of transformation. And during this moment of worship, I saw this image. And I've been getting images like this. I don't know if it's like a vision or what, but it's like this image during worship as they're singing this song. And I'm seeing, I'm standing there in worship, like, oh, this is great, powerful, and just being there before God. And I see this Tarzan-like dude, right? He's just like going through this jungle, like just chopping stuff down, has like a sword, and he's chopping down vines, and there's like trees, and he's getting cut like on his body and stuff as he's trying to get through this jungle to get to what's on the other side. And he keeps going. He's not stopping. He's on a mission. So I'm just there in worship, just seeing this, and like, wow, okay. And he finally gets to the other side of that jungle. And on the other side of the jungle is a boy on the ground, sitting there, who thought he was alone. And that's when God whispered to my heart and said, Mark, all the moments you thought you were alone, all the moments you thought you were forgotten, and that you were unwanted, that you were unloved, that you were left out, that I was pursuing you the entire time. I was on a mission to win your heart, to save your heart. You were never unloved, you were never forgotten, you were never unwanted. And that is the same God who is inviting you tonight to draw near to him. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Sing, oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves a 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Thank you again, God. You are the one. with the story that restores all stories. And in your name, we praise, we dance, we celebrate, we testify, we breathe, we live. Thank you so much. May every heart draw nearer to you in every passing moment, growing in the depth of your love and in understanding and in experiencing who you are in this life you've given us. My name is Mark J., and I'm a grateful believer in Jesus, walking in freedom from sexual addiction. Thank you so much for having me tonight. God bless you all.
Let's give Mark a hand. Thank you, Mark. Well, I invite you to say the serenity prayer with me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. Well, we will now receive the offering for CR. We're going to do a special love offering tonight for Mark. So, Ron, could you help me out here? And normally we don't ever pass the plate, but if you want to give Mark directly a cash or check, Ron's going to go ahead and pass the plate around, and that's going to go directly to Mark. And I'm going to read you the instructions for our normal offering. If you have a prayer request, please email them to info@cvchurch.com, and they will be sent to the CR prayer team. We've been getting more and more prayer requests, so keep those coming. You put CR prayer request in the subject line. Now, if you would like to give, you may go to cvchurch.com/give. If you want to give on a mobile phone, just text the word CV Church to 77977 to get set up. Or mail a check with Celebrate Recovery in the memo to CV Church, 4001 La Crescenta Avenue, La Crescenta, California, 91214. All the money that you give goes to Celebrate Recovery. You'll get an itemized receipt next January. So what we'll do, if you want to use our normal method to give now or at any time, if you put Celebrate Recovery, Mark J. the Poet in the memo section, we'll send that directly to him. Or you can, if you want to give check or cash, Ron's got the plate, and we can do it that way. And then obviously, Anthony, you want to go ahead and put the QR code back up there as well. If you want to support Mark's ministry with a monthly donation, you can use the QR code that's on the screen right now. Celebrate Recovery meets on-site and online every Friday at 7 p.m. Be sure to bookmark this link and subscribe to the CV Church YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share tonight's special night with anyone you know that might be struggling with anything, but especially with any pornography or sexual addiction. Be a great opportunity to share that link with people. Newcomers, if you would like more information about Celebrate Recovery, text CV Church to 77411 or email info@cvchurch.com. We encourage you to participate in the on-site and online small groups that are going to start shortly at 8 p.m. Please note that when you join the online small group, you'll be put in a waiting room. You'll see, please wait, the meeting host will let you in soon. Be patient while the Zoom host places you in your group. If you are a newcomer, the host will ask you which group you want to attend. Here's how to participate in the Zoom small groups. This info is also available at cvchurch.com on the CR tab. And every week we're getting new people that are joining on the Zoom groups. Most people try it out via the remote option before they come, so it's a great great outreach to people as well. So here's how you participate in the Zoom small groups. You go to zoom.com/join or download the Zoom app on mobile devices. You enter the meeting ID. It's 840-432-6690. Again, 840-432-6690. And that ID never changes. That's the same. That's our CR ID. Everybody, men and women, enter the same meeting ID. And then the host will put you in one of the following small groups you choose. We have 2 groups for women, women's physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And that group normally meets here, but tonight, Adrian, we're going to take the women's small group, because I'm sure people are going to want to hang out a little bit with the merch. We'll go over to the nursery tonight, just for tonight, just to make it a little bit easier logistically. So that's the women's physical, emotional, and sexual abuse group. The women's hurts and habits group, they'll meet in their normal place across the parking lot. The men's codependency and anger group meets upstairs, and the men's hurts and habits group also meets upstairs. Note, if your Wi-Fi or cell signal dies, or you leave accidentally or get disconnected from your group for any reason, you'd rejoin, and the host will reassign you into your small group, and then you must manually click join breakout rooms so that groups can start on time. And again, we'll start right at 8 o'clock, so we have a few minutes tonight. Please join your on-site and online small groups now. Also, if you have friends who've never heard of Celebrate Recovery, share the YouTube and Zoom links for this meeting with them. Have a great small group, everyone, and we'll see you next week at CR. Also, feel free, Mark has a bunch of merch in the back, and we've got like maybe almost 10 minutes until small groups. So feel free to hang out and give him your appreciation as well. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week at Celebrate Recovery.